Hi, my name is Wesley Woodcock, and this is my Anatomy of a Scene project. I chose to do it on Jurassic World 2 Fallen Kingdom. Before we get into the scene that I have chosen, I would like to give a little summary of what is about to happen. Things you need to know are the Indoraptor, which is the large black dinosaur that is the showcase of most of this scene, is a genetically modified dinosaur created to be more of a weapon than a dinosaur. It was created with the DNA of Blue, which is the velociraptor we see in the ending of the scene, the Indominus Rex from the previous Jurassic World movie, and several other amphibious and reptile species found on planet Earth. An important thing to note before we get into this discussion is in an interview, the director of this movie stated that he wanted to make this movie more of a monster movie instead of the traditional Jurassic Park movie. And we'll see a lot of these key monster movie tropes as we analyze this scene in particular. A lot of inspiration being drawn from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which I will point out toward the end of the scene. And without further ado, let's get into the clip. So the scene starts with a medium shot showcasing the Indoraptor and its movements being very twitchy and unnatural. When it breaks the glass here, the light pouring forward seems to bother it. In a second here, the child's going to slip in response to the raptor, and it'll crane up to show the suspense. Chris Pratt seems to be the one protecting the child's innocent as we move into this long shot. Here we see what he's holding on to starts to fracture, typical monster movie style. And we hear a noise from Claire, who incites the classic conflict of man versus creation. Now, this is one of those classic monster movie tropes that I mentioned in the introduction. Here we really get a showcase of the conflict between man and man's creation. This entire man versus creation standoff that we see here is very reminiscent of the ending of Frankenstein, and I believe that the director got a lot of inspiration from that classic monster movie story, as many monster movies do. Here we have the final standoff, and he breaks the glass here, and the camera changes to a high angle over the raptor for the first time. The cinematographer plays with our focus to show us the fossilized horn, and we see it from above, which shows its vulnerability. But then as it regains its strength and it comes back to this unnatural form, we come and see it from below at a very low angle with underlighting. Here's where Blue comes into the picture. Now, Blue comes in surrounded by the sounds of lightning and hidden in the rain, almost as if she is the will of nature. As these two fall, we get a view of the natural world versus man's creation. And as they hit the skull of the Triceratops, we see that nature overcomes man's wantingness to play God, as is a theme in all of the Jurassic Park movies. So there is the anatomy of this scene from Jurassic World 2 Fallen Kingdom.